How do you book a business class or first class ticket with points? I always saw travel influencers talk about this, but I never saw the step by step strategy. So today I'm going to crack the code with you. I'm Roma. I am a six-figure business owner, and I'm here to show you all of the hacks that I use for luxury travel. So let's get into it. So first of all, some backgrounds is this is, I believe, my third business class flight. I flew from Newark or New York City, depending on the area you're from, to Istanbul airport for 45,000 points and I believe $145 in taxes. So I'm gonna break down what no one on the internet tells you is these tickets are never 100% free. You're always going to have to pay some level of taxes. For example, let's say you buy a $10,000 first class ticket. Even if you use all your points for that, you are still going to have to pay the taxes on that ticket. So that's the first myth I want to bust. The second myth is a lot of times when you see these travel influencers post about how they got these flights for free, they're usually talking about one-way trips. I'm going to talk about the whole round trip experience with you on booking first class and business class from New York to Turkey and Turkey back to New York. So stick with me as I talk to you on this journey. Okay, so I'm going to go into the details of what booking a flight looks like. So I was booking from JFK to Istanbul and we got a deal. So the thing about booking on these points is you have to be flexible, right? I knew around a few days I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to book anywhere between July 24th to August 1st, and I was very flexible. And that's the important part about booking with these travel points is you have to be flexible because it was 45,000 points, but if I decided to, let's say, book on August 1st, that would have probably jumped to 70,000 points, right? And Capital One points are really easy to gain. Where the current promo, I believe, for one of the Capital One credit cards, the personal credit card is you get 75,000 points for every $4,000 you spend. So that can easily cover the round trip cost. But then what none of these travel influencers tell you is how cheap the outbound flight can be is not always the same case with the inbound flight. So I'm going to scroll and show you my options for returning back home after a week. So to fly back home, these were my options. And you can see that it is definitely more expensive to fly home than it was to fly to Turkey in the first place. And I had a couple of layovers that I had to deal with. But just showing you, like, this is almost triple the amount of Capital One points that I needed, and you're paying an extra $200 in fees and taxes, right? Again, something that I haven't heard on the internet is the fees and taxes are unavoidable. So make sure you save up for that. Even if you're spending and getting a ton of points on your credit cards, you want to make sure you account for the fees. This is something that no one told me. And then again, you just see the Capital One points increasing, right? So we had planned, this was December 4th. We planned 7 months in advance for this trip, and we were still like using a lot of credit card points. So this is the level of planning that you want to do for a long haul flight that's international if you want business or first class. Now, Turkish Airlines does not have a first class flight, which was a little disappointing, but it was okay. Their business class, I'll drop a review for that, but this is just a sneak peek of all of the planning that goes into these trips that no one tells you. Now, I have a concierge. I'm happy to send you guys the details. You could leave a comment if you want their details, but it is a lot of work. It is not as simple as just go online and do the Chase travel portal. No, you need to do a lot of research to find these first class and business class flights that are doable with these amount of points. I remember when I booked my first Paris business class flight, I used up, I think, 200,000 points because I did not know the system. So please let this video be a huge reminder that you need to plan in advance.